It's Wednesday, October 12th here at the West End Gun Club. Had the day off from work. I'm out here at the rimfire range. I've already put quite a few rounds down range leading up to this intro through my 1022. And if you are paying attention, you notice that I have a zero compromise 527, the Impact 3 on here. It's not a new scope. I've had this scope as my first zero compromise. I have the Impact 3X on my Vudoo. I had this originally on my Vudoo, took it off when I got the 3X with the intent of putting this on another rimfire gun because I was thinking about getting another Vudoo, which I have yet to spend money or place an order for. Just got a lot of other things that I want to work on, so I haven't committed to buying another Vudoo. That being said, this has been sitting around in my house, not on the gun, so decided to put on my 1022, and obviously it's a good scope. And this gun is actually shooting quite well, and I ordered a few more bricks of the Eley 22LR Semi-Auto Benchrest Precision ammo, which shoots quite well in this gun. Well, quite well. It shoots better than all the other ammo I've tried to this gun because I haven't had any good luck with this 1022 as of late with SK ammo, even Lapua. But this Eley ammo shoots good, so bought a few more bricks of this stuff, and I might actually shoot this in a NRL22 match, maybe, considering that it's grouping relatively well at 50 yards. I think if I hold it right, get at least a half an inch group at 50, maybe a little more than half an inch, depending on how I'm holding the gun. But it should shoot minute of angle, basically, and so we should be okay to shoot this in NRL22. Anyway, the audio may seem kind of sketchy because out of all the things I forgot to do, I forgot to put my SD card back into my mobile recorder or my audio recorder, which is hooked up to lavalier mic. So we're basically going off of the external mic that's attached to this camera. And so you're going to pick up a lot of other noise on the range, and hopefully it doesn't get too busy so it gets very loud to overpower what I'm saying. But if anything, it'll be a short range session, or a short vlog rather. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and put a few more rounds down with the 1022 off the bench because I am running it past the live radar, since this is a different lot than I bought originally when I first acquired a couple bricks. And I think it's shooting 1,100 feet per second right now, and it's about 58 degrees Fahrenheit ambient temperature. The other lot I shot was about 1120. Granted, we were shooting in a lot warmer weather. I have a box left of that stuff, and I can probably run it past the live radar just to compare these two lots in the same conditions, but I anticipate they'll probably be the same. And then we'll bust out the Vudoo, and then I'm going to put another steel target out there so we can get a little practicing before we leave the range. My assumption that the two different lots of Eley Semi-Auto Benchrest Precision ammo would shoot the same as far as velocities, I was actually wrong. So I did shoot the original lot that the first lot that I got when I first tried this stuff out, and that was actually shooting 11-15 average out of a 9-shot string. It didn't pick up one. But the new lot that I acquired is shooting about 1096 to 1100. So there is actually about a 15 foot per second difference. You know, this between these two is 17 foot per second. But that's actually quite significant. The Standard deviation on the original box is actually a little better. Original lot is under 5. The new lot's about 7 consistently on different strings. But it groups pretty well, so I won't be too concerned about that. However, somebody posted online or responded to one of my videos explaining like how to read these lot numbers, and I'll have to go look it up to see how Eley does their lots. But supposedly you're supposed to tell the velocity, the rated velocity on these boxes. I don't know if it's this 1058 number, this 1055 number, but I thought there was a code or something in here. But anyway, definitely a difference here. From the last vlog, I mentioned that I've been having some accuracy issues out of my Vudoo, and I don't know why it's just not grouping at all. So I fully cleaned the gun, like really stripped the barrel out, and so it's about as clean as it's gonna get. I ran several mags to get this thing like seasoned, and it will not group at all. So I shot some Midas Plus from an old lot that I have that I know shot well in this gun from day one. And that shoots great. So let's take a look at the target. Here we have, I'm going to try to drop the tripod so I can just freehand this thing here. Well, actually, I'll have to take it off the tripods because it's just too tall. Anyway. Ignore, this is the 1022 right here. This is about 30 rounds of the Lapua Center X from that lot that I had lot tested. I got a case of this stuff from the Rimfire Performance Center because it shot well in the test. So this is 30 rounds. I think this is 20 rounds. 10 rounds, 20 rounds, 10 rounds. Then I shot another 10. Another 10, and it's not grouping very well at all. Like, it starts to tighten up. This is like kind of seasoning. I'm getting these Fliers. It starts to tighten up a little bit. It's starting to tighten up a little bit here, but this is still about an inch. And here it's okay, but you're still getting some Fliers. However, here's Midas Plus, just 10 rounds. So I'm not entirely sure if it's trending to tighten up. I'll shoot another I'll put some more paces on here to try to shoot more groups here, but I feel like this lot of ammo for some reason does not resonate with the gun anymore. I don't know if it factored in with the change in the chassis. I'm not sure if that changed the way the gun is shooting. Maybe I'll go back to the MPABA comp to see if this starts to tighten up. But I'm going to put a couple more paces out here. Maybe this is a fluke because the gun is actually now seasoned, but this is Midas Plus, and this is about a ½ inch without even trying. So that's 1 MOA. I know this Midas Plus shoots well under that. I think one of these was a hot round. It was like 1077 compared to the rest of the shots. But yeah, let's go ahead and put another pacer. It looked really bad from the scope. It's not as bad as you get up close, but look at these Fliers here. Obviously, when I was shooting this 30 rounds, it went like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It was all over the place, and it starts to trend towards the point of aim or whatever. This, obviously this is bad. This is bad. This is from 308. Sorry, this is an old target. I'll shoot 308 on this. Yeah, and we tried to tighten this up, and it's still side to side stringing. This would be fine if it weren't for that. These 3 rounds. Then this is kind of wild right here. This starts to tighten up, but this Midas Plus group is really good. I'm going to put a few more paces on here, and then we're going to have to think about what the heck is going on in terms of the ammo. I got a case of this stuff still. Well, I got maybe a case minus 3 boxes, 2.5 boxes, which isn't a terrible thing because I know this ammo shoots well in other people's guns. When I was shooting at my friend's Rimex a couple range vlogs ago, or maybe the last range vlog, I I tried this lot of ammo in that in his gun, and it shot great. So I know this ammo is good. You know, it's rimfire is very particular because it just depends on what gun you got and whether or not it works well with that specific lot of ammo. But it's kind of disappointing right now where I'm at, because that means I'll need to get some more ammo for my gun because I don't really have any more for the Vudoo right now other than this case. So I'm gonna go ahead and put a few more paces on here. We'll shoot a few more groups to see where it kind of lands. I mean, it is starting to tighten up, but I'm still getting these Fliers, so I would like to figure this out. And maybe I'll come out. I should have brought another chassis with me. I didn't think about it. I was thinking when I was loading up my Jeeps, like, should I bring another chassis just to perhaps see if that might be a factor? Because I do have, well, the MPA B8 comp is actually, my 700 police is in the B8 comp because I wanted to try out my 308 in the B8 comp because it's been sitting in that KRG Bravo chassis, but I could have brought the KRG Bravo chassis. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I'll come out one weekend or another day later on this month and try different chassis to eliminate certain factors, because I'm changing so many things that you introduce a lot of extraneous factors that could impact the way the gun shoots. But kind of disappointed today. Off camera, I fired another 20 rounds of the Lopus NRX and 10 more rounds in the Midas Plus, and my results on paper are the same as before, except a little worse now. So that Lopus NRX, I shot 2 10-round groups, and the first group was just terrible, just Fliers all over the place. And then I shot 2 5-round groups of Midas Plus, and it pretty much shoots where the reticle is at. Little point of impact shift based on my parallax in my eye, but when I was shooting each group, so their point of impact is a little different point of aim, but they're grouping the same. So I mean, they're grouping well with Midas Plus. So I guess best case scenario, my gun isn't really jacked up. I mean, it's shooting other ammo fine. Bad news is that's all my Lopus NRX that I have for this gun. And I mean, I got, like I said, I think I have 7 boxes left of 7 bricks left. So, I mean, it's not a lost cause, right? I mean, the ammo can be used elsewhere. But what puts me in a predicament is I don't have any ammo for my Vudoo at this point in time. So I do have enough, right now in my Jeep, I have enough Midas Plus to shoot a match, an NRL 22 match, a standard course of fire. So I'm fine there. I think I still have some Midas Plus in home from that same lot. I might have a few more boxes left. But now I have to figure out, I need to go through another round of ammo testing. I have to acquire more ammo. I think the Eley ammo, I have some sampling of Eley Match and Eley 10X, which actually shoots fine in this gun. It just shoots hot. Like, it shoots, not hot, but it shoots 1120 feet per second, which is just below speed of sound, which is 1125 feet per second. And given we're hitting the colder weather months, I could probably use that stuff just fine, and it won't go transonic or go supersonic transonic. If you believe that really affects the rounds at this distance. But anyway, I will, however, try this barreled action in my B8 comp again and see if the ammo decides to shoot okay again, like that Lopus NRX. I don't know if, like, chassis can change the harmonics of your gun. I mean, it shouldn't. Well, any new stock would change the harmonics of the gun. You know, theoretically it shouldn't. But I mean, there's some weird things, like, you know, you're supposed to kind of bed your actions too, even on the chassis. I mean, I didn't bed the action. So there's a lot of factors come into play. I've made some changes. So on this gun, which may have affected the way that ammo shoots from last year when I went to Phoenix Mesa in October of last year. So since then, I mean, the gun has slightly changed a little bit. Granted, they did test the gun in their own fixture, which is just a aluminum block that simulates a 700 pattern, and they just drop it in there, put it in a vise, and you're going, right? And there's no buttstock to come into play here when they're testing that, or any kind of user error or any type of that when they test it. So I don't know, things to think about, but at least I know my gun isn't exactly jacked up. Like, my bore isn't messed up. So I guess that's the bright side of things. Anyway, if you follow my Instagram and you've been looking at this little box that I have in front of me, I finally got this yesterday. So this is the Kestrel KST-1000 shot timer. It was at SHOT Show earlier this year, and I was eagerly anticipating this thing because it's supposed to be waterproof, shockproof. It's got 2 screens on it. It's supposed to work with dry fire. For those of you who do, you know, action pistol shooting and stuff, it actually works with dry fire. I have not even well, I did open the box to make sure it's in there, but I have not even put batteries in it or anything like that. So we're kind of flying blind here, and I'm probably going to read through the instructions before we start trying to use this. But anyway, the reason why I wanted this is because number one, let me grab this other shot timers so we can have a comparison. All right. Resuming the conversation. So the number one reason why I wanted to get this after I saw what they were advertising as far as the KST-1000 features is the ruggedness. This is my first, like the Pocket Pro 2s. This is my first shot timer. I actually gone through 3 of these. These are not very rugged at all. Never leave it in your vehicle, like in the bed of a truck, because I would keep this in the bed of my truck in a range bag. And the bed of my truck isn't exactly sealed. It's got like a you know, a hard cover over the bed. But any humidity will just destroy this. So you got to keep this out of humidity. Don't ever drop these things. It might take a couple impacts once or twice, but if you drop this, highly likely you're gonna break it. I've had issues with the batteries, the battery connectors. I can bring this out. These things tend to get damaged over time, and so I've had to get one fixed. I think I had one returned just straight up using the Brownells warranty, which I don't like to abuse that, but I ended up using that one time. But I have one at home that's broken because the LCD screen just washed out and you can't see it anymore. The timer still works, but you just can't even read the screen, so it's kind of basically worthless at that point. This one, the screen is actually kind of washed out. It's still usable. Well, no, this one's usable. Yeah, this one's usable. This one's actually still in okay condition. Well, although it's shutting down because the battery's dead. Anyway, these are my first ones. I went through 3 of them. This is my 3rd one, I think, or my 4th one. And then I switched to the ZC527s. And these are actually pretty decent, although the screens also can get messed up because I have another one where on the right side it's just kind of not really dead, but it's dim. I don't know if there's something wrong with the way the screen is set in there, but it's just kind of not ideal. And I've dropped these a few times, and I have these rubberized shells, and they're okay, right? So I don't know. These are okay in terms of a little bit better than the Pocket Pro 2s. From a rimfire standpoint, these are way better. This has issues picking up rimfire. Anyway, so from the ruggedness and durability, and plus the ability to be compatible with rimfire is kind of like why I wanted to go with this as an improvement over what I've been messing with here. This I would never recommend at all. Don't ever get the Pocket Pro 2s. I'm sorry, they're not very good at all, and they don't last. KST-1000 not bad. Although I have 2 of them, and one has a bad LCD, or it's going bad. So I would recommend going to look at the KST-1000 based on feature set so far. That's why I wanted to get one. So that being said, I mean, I can't really recommend this yet, fully, because I haven't even tried it. But as far as the unboxing is concerned, here's an unboxing. Boom. Here's the KST-1000. It's yellow. It says yellow on the box here, so apparently they might come out with new colors. You see a screen here and a screen up top, so I think that's kind of handy if you got it on a belt clip, because the belt clip, similar to the Pocket Pro 2s, it's on the top, so when you have it on your belt, you can actually see the screen as opposed to having to flip it up like this to look at or taking it off your belt. So that's kind of cool. You have 2 screens. Supposedly it's got a speaker in the back, belt clip. It's got a lanyard deal right here, so if you want to hook it up to your belt. It's almost like a Kestrel in terms of the design, I guess, because you got the lanyard deal on the right side of it. The way the battery cover works is about almost similar. So you've got this locking mechanism. You pull it to the right, and it should flip this thing out, I think. Yeah, and looks like it's got seals on there. You're not going to really see that on camera, but it's got O-rings there. and it runs on 2 CR123s. I knew that going in, and I did check the box, and it does have batteries in here because I was going to put my own batteries in here because I have tons of CR123s with my tack lights. But let's go ahead and put it on, or put the batteries in rather. So they give you 2 Panasonic branded CR123s, so it should be okay. That's the one thing I always check with these electronics that come with their own batteries. They include batteries in them, is where the batteries are, like which batteries they come with. Because you know, you buy some fly-by-night deal from Amazon, and sometimes they come with these no-name batteries. So I tend to just want to use my own, like Energizer, lithiums. But these are Panasonics, so they fit in just fine. Although they fit kind of loose in the terminals a little bit, they didn't lock in place, but I'm assuming the battery cover will keep it in place. So that seems like it's it, and it's already turned on. It's got this discardable front skin, which I don't know why it says 2 on there because there's no 1. Well, let's go ahead and take this one off. And there's another cover on there. So apparently they put 2 plastic deals. But let's go ahead and take that off. The Asian part of me would want to keep these covers on just to keep it new. You know, back in the day when we got our first cell phones in the mid 90s, we would keep the plastic on the screen just to keep them looking new. Anyway, it seems kind of bright so far. It automatically turned on. Oh, there's actually another cover up top, but I'll leave that on there because I don't really anticipate using that very much. But very large, legible. So without reading instructions, we'll just follow kind of the menu. It looks similar to a Kestrel in terms of, looks like you have a backlight button, which does turn on. It's very weak, but granted, it's bright out. Yeah, okay. So it's kind of like a Kestrel in that regards. That was blue. Hit the gear icon. That will probably bring up a menu, which makes sense. Looks like you have a bunch of presets there. And frankly, you're not going to be able to see this on camera, but I'm just going to show you. I'm going to just talk about it here. It looks like it has sensors set for preset 1. Preset 2 is pistol, 4, and it's like a bunch of pistols. But the preset 1, 6 dry fire. I have no idea what that means. But let's go and just create our own. And I like to walk through to see how intuitive this crap is. Oops, I hit go. Yeah, see if that's picking up. So anyway, let's go ahead and try to create a new. How do I create a new preset? Oh, I guess you can only have 6 presets. And you have to modify 1. Well, let's just do that. Rename preset 1. We'll just call this rimfire. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and start messing around with this, and then we'll see how it goes. If I can get it running, and then we'll do some drills because I want to try one of the stages from the October NRL22 course of fire, which is the one I know I need to practice. So give me a few moments here, and we'll start shooting again. Here's a close-up of the screen just so you get an idea of what the LCD looks like on the Kestrel and the mini system. Sorry for the reflection. You're going to see me here behind the camera. I don't have my circular polarizer with me, so I can't try to cut out this reflection. Anyway, I set up the first preset on here. I named it rimfire. They actually have presets for the sensors. So you have, like, right here you can see sensor sensitivity, I guess. I put on rimfire. It's a pre-bundled one. They got suppressed rimfire, dry fire, custom 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna go with the default right now. I guess you can set up your custom sensitivity. We'll see how rimfire works. Their default. I'm sure they tested it out. I set up a start delay of like 6.5, which is kind of long, but it gives me enough time when I'm timing myself to put down the timer and sort of get ready in a standing position to get to the start position. Random off, and then first part 120 seconds. And then I put the buzzer volume to medium. I took a look at it, and I listened to it, and I think medium's just fine. And I think there's a review type, time or splits. We'll just do time. That's all we need. And that's it. So let's go ahead and see how this goes. Safe. 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 Oops. Safe. Here's a close-up of the screen. I kept the KST-1000 on the left side of the center blocks, and it only picked up 5 rounds. I'm assuming it picked up the first and second rounds, 83, 92, and 106. So I'm guessing it didn't. It only picked up the first 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, probably 8, 9, and 10. Those 10th round, because my 10th round was 106.87. So that's what the rimfire sensitivity. That jives with what I was getting with the CED-1000 in terms of the proximity of the timer to the bore. So I think this should be okay. Maybe I'll try adjusting higher sensitivity on a custom. But I think this will be okay for the most part. Because if you get it too sensitive, it may pick up other things that you don't want it to pick up. So, as far as that run, sorry, I'm getting the camera frame here. As far as that run, I did use my 1022. I'm actually debating on shooting my 1022 for the next match. I shot on the this is the, can't remember what the stage is called, the name of it, but this is the center block stage where you have to keep moving positions. I finished at 106 elapsed, which is good. And I think I saved quite a bit of time. I have a bunch of saved time. I think I missed 1 round because my dope was too high. I think I need to come down a 10th. Might need to come down 2 tenths. So I've had it 108, I think, for 100. I think I only need 106 today, or 107, or sorry, 1.7. I had a 1.8. I only need 1.6 or 1.7. Probably 1.6, 1.7. 1.7 would be fine. Anyway, I missed 1 round because I think it just hit the top. But other than that, the run was good. But I'm going to do this run a few more times. I think I have an idea of how I'm going to shoot it. And it shouldn't be too bad. Just a reminder, this stage in particular, you can't have the gun touching the ground, or or a bag or any equipment. However, I did do one thing here. I guess theoretically I could adjust my bipod a little bit, but on the prone position or any other position where I would just put my hand in between, because this is technically not equipment. I'm not letting the rifle touch the ground. Put my hand underneath. That's just to adjust the brace the gun or adjust height as needed. But anyway, that's the most I did. I ran just the front bag, the Area 419, and the Coltac D bag. And as you can see here, I'm running my, sorry, should unload. It's an empty mag, but we'll just go ahead and do it for the sake of safety here. If I can get the mag out. This is one thing I don't like about 1022s is sometimes the mags just don't want to come out. Slot bolt back. Drop mag. There it goes. Anyway, so I am running the MDT ground pod on the Really Right Stuff Arms LR. I've already scratched it up using it on the brick, but what I was also doing here is I was resting the bag on the center block and pulling back to kind of help stabilize and pushing forward a little bit. So you're adding a little bit of muscle tension, but this kind of gives me some stability, so that's what I was doing here. I tried not to get up too much, but I was going on a kneeling position. It's kind of a kneeling squat, or a crouch rather, coming down, pulling back on the gun, pushing forward my support hand, and that kind of gets me stable well enough on a 3-inch target, and I can brace it pretty well to get on there and then break a shot, then move, kind of scooch over, pick up gun, come back down, and the same thing here. I think I went prone, but on the first time here on this level. But I think if you stay in that crouch position, if you can, just kind of squat and then get under, and you can get a good shot here. So it's kind of similar to last month's, where you had 2 cinder blocks and 1 cinder block, and you're just swapping back and forth. Try to minimize your body movements as far as how you're changing levels, because if you're changing levels going prone too many times, that takes up time. And if you have to get up fully, that's a terrible position, or a terrible spot, because you're constantly moving your body. Adding more time, adding more movements adds more time. So try to minimize your movements as much as you can. Efficiency is the key. These poles are kind of a pain, so anybody shooting West End Gun Club, we'll probably move the cinder blocks. I don't know. I'd like to remove these poles if we can't. They use them for stuff, but that's something you have to deal with. Anyway, and then when you go to a prone position, obviously you're gonna have to get down prone. That's just the way it is. You can't. I guess you could try to shoot like this, but yeah, I guess you could. This one actually saves you time, as opposed to getting flattening out, getting back up again. I don't know. Pick your poison. But that's how I'm gonna run it, and yeah, I'm gonna run it a few more times. Just get some rounds in, and then we'll pack up, because I'm actually, again, my day out, but I am gonna make a work call at 11, so I kind of want to get to a spot nearby and get on that call while I'm eating lunch. So let's go ahead and run a few more runs. We'll pack up, and then we'll make our way out of here. After this range session, we discovered one issue. It's a negative, is that my gun no longer shoots that Lapua Center X very well. My Vudoo, for some reason, does not want to shoot ammo that tested fine in it a year ago. It just now has a bunch of Fliers. I did notice this morning that it was basically shooting 1040 to 1050 FPS, which is a little low. Even though it was 60-degree weather, I wouldn't have expected that much of a velocity drop. Although there's tons of Fliers. And on the other side of the coin, Midas Plus shoots just fine. Even after shooting in between strings, I shoot Center X, then Midas Plus, Center X, Midas Plus still shoots great. No need to warm up or season the barrel, it just shoots fine. So, at least you know the Vudoo V-22, the barrel is okay. It's just my ammo now is in jeopardy in terms of what I have available. My 1022, I have a lot of confidence in this gun actually right now. The gun shoots the Semi-Auto Benchrest Precision Eley ammo great. Well, I don't know if it's great, but it's good. It shoots it well. The only thing I noticed that I didn't realize the length of pull on this gun is a little short, even for me. You know, I'm a short guy, and I think I need to add like another half an inch, at least an inch maybe. So maybe an inch at most. So I'm gonna find out what I can do, because I'm probably gonna end up shooting this at the next match.
If I do my Vudoo, I'm gonna have to shoot my Midas Plus. I do have 100 rounds in the Jeep, so I have enough ammo to shoot a match with the Vudoo still. But I'm probably gonna try shooting the 1022 to see how it goes. But I need to get linkless pull spacers, and I don't know if it came with any. I know my other Bravo chassis had some. I'm not entirely sure they're compatible though, so we'll see. I'll figure it out. And as far as the KST-1000 shot timer, so far it seems to work okay. It works similarly to the KST-1000 in terms of sensitivity. I'm going to play around with the sensitivity a little bit more, but definitely needs to be forward of the gun, in line with the muzzle, and needs to be relatively close to it, just like the KST-1000. It needs to be within, I would say, a yard and a half at most, in order to detect the shots. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and pack up. Even though I said today's my day off from work, as usual, I promised, or at least I committed myself to attending an 11 o'clock meeting, so it's 5 till 10. I just need 5 minutes to pack up the rest of my gear. I'm going to jet out of here. We'll get to cell coverage, but I'm going to drive to a location where I can actually set up my laptop because I need to be able to see some of the presentation on this call. So, but yeah, let's go ahead and get out of here. Anyway, that's it for today, October 12th, Wednesday here at the West End Gun Club. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next vlog.